physics portion, and it is often present in GED test, so we should be prepared for this one. The calculations are not that difficult. Let's give it a try. The formula is already given to you. It is F equals G m1 m2 by d square. And the formula is actually from Newton's laws of physics, okay, laws of motion. So let's first know how the formula is coming so that it will be easier for you us to apply. Okay. So according to Newton, every object in the universe has some gravitational force towards each other. Okay. Now herein this basically applies more to the heavenly bodies present in the space, like the big planets, stars, etc. It also applies to small objects, but the force is not that big, so we do not consider it in real, like in our day-to-day life. So this is mainly considered for the heavenly bodies. Okay. Now, what happens here is, according to the law, it says that the force that these two planets will exert upon each other, the F, the force exerted by these two bodies on each other, will be the product of their masses. Suppose this is M1 and this is M2, and the distance between them. This is the distance between them. So the force will be M1 M2 divided by d squared. Now herein we have a gravitational constant, which is this G, capital G, that we have to multiply. Okay, so the in this question, the mass of sun and the mass of the earth is given. So let's consider, suppose this is sun and this is earth. So in the same formula, we will be putting these numbers down. So F equals M1, we are considering M1 as the Earth's mass, and the mass of the Earth given here is 6 times 10 to the power 24 kgs. So 6 times 10 to the power 24, okay? Then again times the mass of the Sun, which is 2 times 10 to the power 30 kgs. So you'll write 2 times 10 to the power 30, and all of this divided by the d squared. So the distance. See, the distance is also given. The distance from the Earth to the Sun is 1.5 times 10 to the power. It should be 10 to the power 11, okay? Not 11 written here. So you have 1.5 times 10 to the power 11, okay? Now this is the square. So you have to do a square here. One thing more, you need to multiply the g part also. So for the g, let me make it smaller. So the g part again, we will multiply here, which is given as 6.67 times 10 to the power minus 11 Newton meter square per kg square. That units you do not need here right now. Just remember that it's unit is already given. They are not going to ask you stuff about it. So it becomes 6.67. It doesn't matter if you write the g portion here or here, because this is what multiplication only, times 10 to the power minus 11. Okay, so back. Now we are having all the numbers that we need for the calculation. Now we just need to multiply it. So the easiest way to solve this is to collect all the numbers first, like 6, the 6, 2, and the 6.67. First multiply these numbers. Okay, so we have 6 times 2 times 6.67, okay, divided by, see here in what's happening. We are doing a square of it. So square means what? You multiply the number twice. So can I write 1.5 times 1.5? That's possible, right? So we can write 1.5 times 1.5 and there's 10 to the power 11 and then square is there. So there was one law of exponent which says that if you have x to the power n and then there's one more power on top of x, then it becomes x to the power n times m. So n times m you do. So herein, if I have 10 to the power 11 times 2, 10 to the power 11, and then again we have a 2 here, so it will become 10 to the power 22. Okay, so you write it down here. Now, for this portion, 10 to the power 24, 10 to the power 30, 10 to the power minus 11, we know that when you are multiplying the exponents, you add up the powers. So all of these are what? The power of 10. So times, let me use a different ink, it'll help you understand. So it becomes 10 to the power 24 plus 30 minus 11. How is it coming? It is again based on one of the laws of exponent, which says that if you have x to the power n multiplied with x to the power m, then you do x to the power n plus m, right? And why am I writing a minus here then? Because this number is having a minus sign. Even if I write plus and then minus, it will eventually be minus. That's it. Now we solve this portion. So 6.2 times 6.67. So that gives me 6 times 2 times 6.67 is 80.04 times 10 to the power. So you simply solve this portion. Or you can use a calculator. So 24 plus 30 minus 11 is 43. Okay. Now, all of this is divided by how much? 1.5 times 1.5 and then 10 to the power 22. So 1.5 times 1.5 is how much? It is 2.25 times 10 to the power 22. Now you can simply divide 80.404 and 2.25. So it will be 80.04 divided by 2.25. It is 35.57. goes on. Okay. Now, what is left out? We still have to work on this portion. The 10 to the power 43 and 10 to the power 22 part. Now again recall one of the laws of exponent, which was whenever you're dividing the powers. So x to the power n divided by x to the power m, at the time what happens? It becomes x to the power n minus m, right? You subtract the power. So I can write it as 10 to the power 43 minus 22. Okay? So this will become 35.573 times 10 to the power 43 minus 22 is now 21. We know that. This is the answer. Now look at the options. It says 35.573, 10 to the power 21. 35.573. Again, see, we have two options which are having 3.56. Herein it is 10 to the power 44. Clearly not the answer. Herein it is 10 to the power 22, but we are having 21 only. It is because we are getting the answer as 35.573. Just write 57 times 10 to the power 21. Now, if you see herein, it is 3.5, and I hope or try to recall the scientific notations topic. So when you move the decimal one place to the left hand side, the power will increase. So it will become 3.56 times 10 to the power 22. So we move the decimal simply. 5, 5, 7 has been rounded off. 5, 6. And that's okay. Times 10 to the power 22 Newton. This is the answer. Okay, not this one. Also, here in even if you calculate after calculating for these type of questions, just compare it. A and C are not even nearby the answer. B and D qualify. But for B and D, the power in case of B is much, or we can say like it is the same. But if you go for what you calculated earlier, it's 21, so nearby 22. You can select it. You're not gonna go select 44. So that's how you have to do it.